This is Akita of Japan Prefecture. Once upon a time, there was a temple located high up in the mountains where a monk and a young apprentice lived. Behind the temple was a large mountain with a massive chestnut tree. Whenever the wind blew, the chestnuts would fall one after another, plop, plop, plop. The young apprentice expressed his desire to go chestnut picking, but the monk warned him, "There's an old witch living in that area behind the temple, and it's dangerous to go there." However, the young apprentice insisted on going, so the monk reluctantly gave him 3 talismans and said, "If you find yourself in danger, use these talismans." As the apprentice ventured into the area, he discovered an abundance of large chestnuts. He started picking and eating them to his heart's content. Suddenly, a kind and graceful old woman appeared and said, "Young apprentice, come this way. There are plenty of chestnuts here." Curious, the apprentice followed her and found an endless supply of enormous chestnuts. He continued picking and eating, unaware that the day was fading away, leaving him stranded. The old woman then offered a solution, saying, "There's a small house over there where you can spend the night. Tomorrow morning, you'll be able to go back." The tired apprentice agreed and went along. The old woman cooked and served him roasted and boiled chestnuts until he was completely full. When he grew sleepy, she brought him a blanket. Exhausted, the apprentice fell fast asleep. However, in the middle of the night, he was awakened by the sound of raindrops, chanting, "Young apprentice, young apprentice. Look at the old woman's face, young apprentice, Tunsu Ra, Tunsu Ra." Startled, he glanced at the old woman, only to find that she had transformed into a hideous witch. She had 2 horns protruding from her head, her mouth was split up to her ears, and she extended a crimson tongue. Frightened, the apprentice quickly got up to leave. As he was about to escape, the witch asked, "What are you doing?" "I need to go to the bathroom. I have to pee." "If you want to pee, then do it right there. I can't pee in a place like this. It's too embarrassing." "Well then, go ahead and go." Reluctantly, the apprentice tied one of the talismans to the rope and asked it to say, "Manda Daru. Manda Daru." He then jumped out of the window and ran as fast as he could. Inside, the talisman responded to the witch's inquiry, saying, "Manda Daru. Manda Daru." However, the witch found it strange that the talisman's response was so long. She opened it and discovered the rope tied to the talisman. The talisman said, "Oh no, I've been tricked." The witch chased after the apprentice, who was almost within her reach. But then, the apprentice threw another talisman behind him, shouting, "Sanyama Daru." Suddenly, a massive sand dune appeared. The witch tried to climb it but kept sliding down. Despite her efforts, she eventually made it to the top and started descending. Just as she was about to catch up to the apprentice, he threw his last talisman behind him and yelled, "Ukawa Daru." A vast river materialized, preventing the witch from crossing. She tried going back and forth but couldn't find a way to get across. In the meantime, the apprentice managed to return to the temple. He exclaimed, "Monk, I've come back. Monk, I've come back." However, the monk pretended not to know and didn't open the door. Anxiously, the apprentice urged, "Hurry, hurry. The witch is passing by here." Finally, the monk reluctantly opened the door, and the apprentice hid inside a large pickle jar. As the monk closed the lid tightly, the witch arrived, huffing and puffing. She asked, "I thought the apprentice came in here. Where did he go?" The monk replied, "No, the apprentice didn't come in." Unsuspecting, the witch said, "Well then, let me in. Those mouth-watering rice cakes you're cooking look delicious." "Oh, what a tempting rice cake. Please, give me one too. Rice cakes are my favorite." "Sure, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. We have plenty of rice cakes here. But before that, you are just as formidable as a witch. So why don't you transform yourself?" "I can transform myself as well." "Then go ahead and transform first." "Alright, I'll transform first. Tall, 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 tall." As the monk commanded, the witch grew taller until she reached the ceiling. Unable to grow any taller, the witch said, "Short, short, short, short," and started shrinking until she became as small as a bean. Witnessing this, the monk quickly split 2 hot rice cakes and sandwiched the tiny witch inside, then swallowed her whole, crunching and chewing her with gusto. After that, the witch never appeared again.